Portia, you a lie. You do remember saying that about that woman's husband. Shamia, I'll be on your side. I'm still on your side, honey. But you saying that it's not your fight is kind of weird. Even though it ain't your fight, but you be sticking up for... what's that girl name? You be sticking up for Portia in regards to a situation. You're being a loyal friend. And now I can see why the demise happens between you and Portia. I can see it. Brittany is always loud and makes no sense. That's why I barely talk about her. Like, she is trying to find a moment every episode. Like, she always has to do the dramatic. She always has, and y'all sent for Angela and here she come. So let's get into it, honey. Another review of Real Housewives of Atlanta. They're picking up the pace. They're picking up steam and they're chugging up the mountain. I'm not mad at it. This episode was a little lackluster because all the drama was at the end, of course. Yeah, we're gonna just get into it. I'm gonna be looking at my notes. You know my favorite saying, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, but you know. So the episode starts off with, you know, the remnants of Portia being upset. Portia being fake upset about Dennis and Drew filming together. Somebody told her that they were filming. Dennis didn't tell her, nor did Drew. She wouldn't expect Drew to tell her though, right? Okay. So now it's Cynthia, because Cynthia went to bed. She said ain't nothing open except legs, the ER, and jail. That's why you got to go to bed early. Facts. Because you know when you don't go to bed early, you get yourself in trouble, Portia. So it's kind of like the scenes are, you know, Cynthia going around and everybody getting all this tea about what happened. And Kelly is the most honest person, and I knew I liked Kelly from the second episode. Kelly said, I heard her say it. She said it. But, you know, she said it in a joking way where I can see that Shamia was trying to say it was a key. If you want to be mad at somebody, it should be at Portia. Why are you mad at me? Why is Shamia held to a different standard than Portia? That's a question that you got to ask Angela. So everybody is going around. She inviting everybody to the Bailey Cube. That's why she's going around to all the ladies, right? So we're not gonna talk about this dog party. We're not gonna talk about this dog party. She got $1,500 to spend on her dog. Good for her. Britt talking about her sisters just makes me, and her scene with her family. I can see why she is the way she is in reference of I'm pretty, I can do, I saw some old clips of her and she ain't really changed in thought process. Physically she has, as we saw, but it's kind of like, I don't know, she's not really a girl's girl from what I see. She's not. I don't know how to explain it. Not everybody's sibling relationship is the best sibling relationship. It could be the person's fault, it could be the other sister's fault, it can be, but the way that their dynamic is, I feel like Cher is that sister that is like, is she the middle child? If she's the middle child, I don't know, is she? Yeah, because Britt says that she's the youngest, no? Anyway, I can't remember. Anyway, her family dynamic, it's not unusual. It's not unusual. But a family dynamic can see why Britt Edie is the way that she is. That's all I have to say about that. I am not surmising. Okay, so we get Shamia and her surrogacy journey. She found a surrogate, and I haven't heard any news about anybody being pregnant at this point in time in 2025. So I don't know if it was a successful implantation, but I wish her the best. I hope that she does give this man a million babies. Godspeed. So here we go with Angela Oakley Mayweather, baby, because she is ready to fight, and Charles Oakley does not care. I just want everybody to know, and I want Angela to know that your husband does not care what them ladies said. He does not care. You repeating this story and him taking Portia's side is kind of wild, but factual. Like, you went at that dinner and tried to hold Portia accountable for a story that Kelly brought up and they squashed. Don't nobody care about Simon and Portia no more, to be honest with you. Fallon was cheating on him. He was cheating on her. That was a whole cheating bunch. So I thought that Fallon and that man was not together no more after they went on that show. I forget what show it was, because I ain't looking. But apparently they lost a baby, got pregnant. I think she's pregnant again, and they married. So the four of them got a lot of stuff going on. So that's Fallon, Jalen, Simon, and Portia. Let that out. Y'all can have it. Congratulations. Charles said, never mind. Angela and Charles kind of reminds me of a couple that I know. Could it be me? I don't know. It's not me, but he tells the truth regardless of what happens. And if I was a wife, I wouldn't like that either. I want you to blindly follow me. What the hell? Like, you are my husband. You're not going to tell me, especially in front of cameras. Charles does not care. He don't. So we're going to get to Portia retelling this story about Dennis and Drew. She's just retelling this story to Miss Diane and Lauren, right? And it's kind of like, we know it's fake. You know it's fake. Drew knows it's fake. Dennis know that he don't really care, because he know that you just putting on, because you technically don't really have nothing to talk about. But that's not anything that a housewife doesn't have anything to talk about, because you can't talk about Simon. You can't film in the house. We understand all of that. If your personality was like at 100%, you wouldn't be bringing up Dennis and Drew filming together. Or you would be cool with Drew, finally go and say, have this little sit down y'all supposed to have 15 years ago, and say, okay, this is why. we're gonna have to do baby steps, because now I don't really trust you, because blah, 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 blase, blase. Then give all the heat to Dennis as to why I said don't do this because of this X, Y, and Z, and you still went ahead and do it. Because Dennis don't care. He don't. Hence why y'all not together. And we all know at this point, because she and her YouTube channel, she have a 2-parter with her baby daddy. So it really wasn't that serious. So why are you feeding us with this nonsense? Get away from us with this, Portia. It's dumb and it's unnecessary. We are now at the Bailey Q, honey. And what's her name? Cynthia has a prophet. What's the difference between a prophet, a psychic, a medium? You know how I'm looking. I don't know. Whatever. So she reads everybody, and then everybody looks cool. Drew came out. She was twisting her waist a little bit extra, wasn't she, honey? She was walking in. Everybody's there. It's raining. Whatever. Everybody's inside. So the lady said something to Angela, right? And it was something about, you have to, spice it up. Things are getting, basically she said things are getting lame in a relationship with your husband, and, you gotta make things run again. And here go Britt. Like, every time she opens up her mouth to Angela, it's always, the only time I ever agreed with Britt is when she called Angela a victim. Like, at that time in Nashville, she was acting like a victim when she started the whole mess. by bringing Drew. First of all, inviting Drew. And then when everybody asked about Drew, you were like, well, I want Portia, blah, 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 blah. Like, you was really stirring the pot there, Angela. And then all of a sudden you like, oh, well, if I got to be accountable, so does Portia. Please. That segue, I'm not here for that, Angela, but you gathered. You calmly gathered. Because all Britt does is stand up and scream and yell every single time. Even if she's standing up or sitting down, all she does is carry on and scream. Don't have no points, don't have no valid truth to be speaking. She was like, do you not understand? You know, maybe you need to use your mouth a little more. And then she could make a joke about that. She can. Like, she could say whatever. But the way Mrs. Oakley sat there calmly and called that woman a garden tool with a hard ER, I lost it. I screamed and shouted and laughed so loud. I was like, dang, Angela, you was really calm with it. She was like, girl, you ain't about to do. You are a dog with a big bark with no bite. And that is exactly what Britt is. Britt, she been up and down this internet. You can find the clips of her talking about she always keep her pistol on her, yada, yada, yada. She always got it on her. I got blah, 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 blah. And Georgia is an open state. It's an open carry state. You can do what you want. But what I'm saying is she talks a big game. But honey, her bite is like, I don't know. It's like a little pinch. Because every time she gets loud, she really don't be saying nothing. She really doesn't be saying nothing. Now, I can understand Cynthia want to be the peacemaker, as she always wants to be, right? We are at the end of the episode. Because at this point, the whole semicircle, they eating now. And now everybody got to go to the principal's office. Cynthia's like, okay, speak to Angela and what is that girl's name? Portia. It's not Angela and Portia are talking. Portia, you a lie. You know what you said. You can blame it on the Henny. You can blame it on the champagne. You can blame it on every single alcohol that you want. It still bothered Angela that you said that about her husband. I don't think, first of all, there's a lot of people going around saying that, you know, Jezebel's spirit, she always takes somebody mad, blah, 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 blah. I mean, listen, if y'all can find facts about that, then I would say yes. I don't know nothing about that stuff. But Portia don't really care what's going on until somebody, you know, solidifies her and secures her in the things that they say and she sees otherwise. She lives in a love bubble just like Teresa. That's how she was with Dennis and that's how she was with Simon. Simon and her started off messy. Like I said, I don't want to talk about the four of them no more, but it started off messy and it seemed like she liked him. Did she love him down like she keeps saying? I don't know. But it did seem like she liked him. She fixed his teeth and everything. Like, you know, it was a vibe. But I don't feel like Angela, even though I am Team Angela, I just don't feel like Angela had any place to be like that, telling Charles like, oh, you're effable and all of this and blah, 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 blah. Because to be honest with you, I don't think it was that serious. But what Portia should have done when she sat there and Angela said that, instead of hemming and hawing and being all crazy in your confessionals and be like, girl, it's not that serious. I don't even remember saying it. And then told your sister and your mother, oh, I said it. Like, come on. Like, be serious. Be serious. All you got to do is apologize. I'm sorry that I said that. It didn't mean no harm. I was just joking around. Like, Angela was the topic of discussion in that pool. And y'all had the nerve, Portia had the nerve to say, Ish, you should have been asleep. Why you was listening to us? You right, the pool is right underneath her window. The woman had to come downstairs and say, what was said? What was said? And everybody was like, listen, I'm going inside. Like, it was really a moment of, y'all was talking this big game. I want to blame it on the alcohol. And then when Angela come and confront y'all, y'all like, reason to be upset at Angela. None whatsoever. So I just don't understand why she got so much bark for her. Anyway. So they kiss and make up, honey. Now it's Shamia's turn. Can somebody explain to me, why is Shamia being held to the fire? I just don't get it. I don't get why. And even if she holds her to a different standard, right? Even if she holds Shamia to a different standard than Portia, Angela was still saying that all of them were puppets. She was still being like, Angela is talking to two sides of her mouth now. And she is diving into her villain era. This is her origin story. This is the villain origin story for Angela. Y'all called for it, and here she is. Ding, ding. We are here now. Angela is ready to fight. She don't care. She's ready to stir the pot. She is ready to do the witch's brew because she is over y'all already. And I don't blame her, but at some point she got to say, it's not that serious. But when you talk about Mr. Oakley, she's about it. She kind of like Jackie Christie, to be honest with you. She should have been on Basketball Wives, no? Speaking of, didn't that start already? I gotta check that out. Focus. All right, honey, that was the episode. So my takeaways from this episode is that Angela is now in her villain era. Britt is just trying to find a moment. Shamia, not too much on Shamia, y'all, not too much. But Shamia, I don't think she blindly follows Portia. I do not think she's a puppet. I do believe that it is a lopsided friendship. I do believe that. And I think Shamia is now seeing that in this environment, that she is getting more attention, that Portia has some ways about her. And, friends go through things. It's been about a year now because I think they filmed this in the summertime last year. Or the year before. Who the hell knows? And they still not talking to each other. So, we shall see. Kelly is an outlier. Kelly's about to be in some mess. Did you guys see the mid-season trailer? She's about to be in some mess. But I feel like Kelly, I don't know. I think Kelly is the realest one in reference to who she is in real life. But she just plays it up maybe just a little bit. And Cynthia is just there, child. Cynthia is there for a kiki, and I don't mind. I don't mind it, to be honest with you. I do not mind Cynthia being around and not being around. It doesn't bother me at all. But, Angela, and my takeaway from Portia is that she is struggling to be on this show. And it wouldn't surprise me if she was the one that said to producers, like, hey, just bring Phaedra back for a little kiki when we go to, where they going? St. Lucia? No, not St. Lucia. That was Beverly Hills. Barbados? Wherever they going. I feel like they bought Phaedra so Portia could have a personality. Y'all could come for me if y'all want to. But, Portia needs a sidekick. She needs someone to lift. She needs someone to banter with like that. Because Cynthia not going to go toe-to-toe with her like that. And Angela is in her villain era. Shamia is definitely going to take Portia's side to defend her as a friend. This also reminds me of Garcelle and Sutton. Friendships are being tested, honey. They're being tested. So, that's my takeaway of this last episode, honey. If y'all made it this far, thank you. Thank you for your time. And comment, subscribe, and let me know how y'all felt about this latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, my takeaways is that the other half of this season is going to be good, honey. And I don't think that Phaedra is going to add not one iota other than her confessionals and because we all know Phaedra is a good reader, honey. She can read you down. Her and Nene and Candace can go toe-to-toe. Like, I get it. But she's not going to add anything to the cast. She's not going to say anything about herself. She's not going to say anything. She's just going to be there to listen. Just much like Cynthia. She's really not. That check must have been good, honey. Because you left Married to Medicine to come back to be a friend of. Was it equal pay or was it higher? We don't know. And you know what? This is another thing about, listen, rant at the end of this review. Y'all better don't bring Mia next season on this show. And if y'all do, she better be, oh, let's all just go out to lunch and she in the background. Because I don't want to see it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Y'all just moving these people from one franchise to the other. Caroline Sandberry done got kicked off 2 shows. Ladies of London and now the Housewives of Dubai. Both of them got canceled. Like, come on now. Like, let's get something fresh and new. Okay, I rant over. Ja. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.